As we go through these trials, we often ask God, why have you put me in this situation? Why have you not intervened? And as I have gone through and asked those questions, and God has been revealing to me the purpose for all of this, there are three things I wanted to just leave us with in a moment here. And that is let go, find joy, and make a difference. And when we talk about letting go, it's letting go of our expectations, finding joy in the situations that God has put us in and meeting us in, not just putting us in, but meeting us there. And then how to make a difference using this challenge that he's put us in. So I'm excited to share a little bit about that. So with point number one, letting go, I've shared in previous spaces that I am a serious runner, and I also can be very laser focused in my expectations. I bring that into my job, into my family, into my other life as well. And I just came to this realization that God was speaking me through all of this, is that there are things that I'm just too serious about. And now I'm all for being serious and achieving great things and seeing excellence in our lives, but it was really my heart that was the problem, and that God was fixing me with. And I could see it translating into a lot of other things as well. Not just not just in running, or not just in life, but I really had in turn forgotten who God had made me to be. Excellence had become the trophy, or had become the prize, and not relationships and people and making things matter. And really what I found through all of this is that God wants us to have freedom from our own expectations and meet us in this place. I mean, we are given a brand new life through a relationship with God, and through this trial that I and many of you, as you're watching in, have been put in. He didn't want to just fix me in a general sense, or see me become a better person in a general sense. He wanted to get into the specifics and the challenges that I'm facing on a daily basis, and meet me in those spaces there just the same. And this is a place of freedom, not just freedom from doing wrong or doing bad things, or in the way that we might think of God or a relationship with Jesus, but just freedom from myself and the way that I'm trying to get in and fix things and be so serious in my life, and especially from a human-made standard that I often was creating. And so he wanted me on a daily basis to dial that back, spend time with him, and really not keep digging into the things that I wanted, the way I wanted my life to go, but to be open to what he had for my life. So then if the first point was letting go, and the second point is now finding joy, and then through that, being able to dial back and not be so serious. In turn, that also just didn't mean not doing things. It meant doing things that were more fun and more exciting. And that is what I needed to spend more of my time focusing in on and doing, and thinking outside of the box, being creative, being a little crazy in some of the things that I began doing. For me personally, it was just through doing a lot of crazy events and taking risks in new places and being silly, and whether it was running a race in an orange suit, or running in a Big Bird costume, or just spending more time with my kids, or it was just being silly in conversations and coming into meetings at work and providing a new perspective where it's let's think bigger picture, longer term, and have more fun with certain things rather than kind of dialing in and getting stressed about certain specifics in the moment type of a framework or mindset. And it was that aspect that began to change. And without this gut experience, I never would have had that approach. And I can thank God for it. And so if there were 3 points of letting go, finding joy, the third is make a difference. And you can see here on the screen some interesting pictures. And why are you bringing these pictures up? And it's really connecting how all of this makes a difference for me that I'd love to share and give everyone an opportunity to be a part of too, just the same. And if you can see on here, there's a picture of a young girl. Her name is Yvonne. I met her in Rwanda back in 2018, 2017. Through my work at World Vision, I've had the privilege of being able to travel to many different continents and countries and places. And I certainly have an affinity for the country of Rwanda and everything that they have gone through. And I have, on this trip, I met with Yvonne and her family. You can see a picture of her father and her sitting next to him as I had a chance to talk to them after we had gone out. And what you see in the middle here is this pit of water, which literally was down the side of a mountain and about 6 kilometers, it was not close, away from their home, where they would get dirty water every day and they would bring that water back with them. They would use it to cook, clean, drink, bathe in. And Yvonne and her siblings and her whole family were often getting sick all the time from the water that they were drinking. This little pond or swamp, whatever you want to call it, was being used by animals nearby, and they're openly defecating in the water, and they're using and then they're using it to come back and do some of the basic things that we would just take tap water to use for. And just simply crazy. So they're sick all the time. She's not able to go to school. They're often feeling bad. But and again, working for World Vision, I see these things all the time. But what broke my heart in this particular family's case was, as I was listening to Yvonne's dad share the story, the point where he lost all hope was the point at which the family cow would no longer drink the same water that they were drinking. I'll say that again. The family cow would no longer drink that same water that they were drinking. He knew his options had run out at that point. And as I'm listening, I'm sitting through all of this, now that I've gone through all this, I have felt, and as I know many of you have, where you feel like you've run out of options. You feel like there's nothing else available in order to see healing through your IBS. And in turn, you're feeling some of the same symptoms that they're feeling. Low energy, not able to do your normal daily activities. And it completely takes out the whole sense of hope that you normally would feel. And it's the same thing that families like Yvonne's are feeling all around the world, but they simply don't even have access to clean water in the same way that we do. So our starting line, their starting lines are at completely different places. So World Vision is the world's largest non-governmental provider of clean water on the planet. We are a Christian organization, which is great, and we can offer life-giving hope. However, the communities where we work with, we don't require anyone to be a Christian. We work with everyone, and in turn, we also work in connecting with governments in order to provide solutions that last. The communities that we go in and work in, we will do an assessment for a couple of years, and then we put together a 15 to 20 year development plan that in turn will hand over the keys to the community, so that by the time we're done, we are able to move on to the next communities, and they're able to be self-sustaining, so that they're able to take care of these programs long term. And many research studies have gone on that prove that our programs are better than any of the others when we talk about long-term sustainability of not just water wells, but so many other projects. I've gone in, and the particular project that went in and served this family was an underground reservoir that they tapped into in the side of a mountain that then was able to distribute to multiple villages, and in turn provide life and hope to Yvonne and her family now, as well as many, thousands of others at the same time. So this, what I want to invite everyone into now is, no one can empathize. When we talk about Westerners, depending on where you're at and where you're listening to this, can empathize with families like these in the same way that we can. Because of the challenges that we face, we know the importance of having a healthy gut. And when you don't have access to clean water, you don't have a healthy gut. And no one can connect with that in a personal way, in the way that you can. And so I would just want to invite everyone here, if any of these tips, if any of these ideas that I've shared on my website or through any of these programs have helped you, and you have seen the benefit of that, of which I offer all this for free, whatever you have in your capacity to give, I would encourage you to donate at the link that I'll provide on my website towards our fundraising to providing clean water. That lasts $50, provides clean water to one person in a way that lasts. It's part of a holistic program. Depending on what the application is, it's not just the hardware, but it's also the software at the same time, so that communities are able to own and operate whatever those solutions are themselves. It is also accompanied with different discipleship programs that engage people in such a way so that they can have a relationship with God. It does not require that people participate in that aspect. It doesn't force anyone to, and yet it's connecting them to the living water that is Jesus in ways that are unique and creative. We operate in countries that Christianity is not allowed in, and so you also have those situations too, where we're providing these programs and applications in ways that model the way that Jesus has taught us to, and at the same time, it is free and open to anyone who wants to have a better life. So with that, I just offer all that up to you now. And thanks so much for being a part of that, of these 3 points that I just wanted to encourage everybody with, which was let go, find joy, and make a difference. And I pray that this would all contribute to that for you. Thanks so much.